Now, one
Mm-hmm.
question I have, and I hope I'm going to get this name right. Can you
Yes.
explain your fascination with Drifter? Is it Drifter?
Oh, yes. So I don't know why it became like an ongoing joke because like every game I play, there's like certain we all make like it's been a like the simping thing, like the internet sim culture has been a joke on my channel forever, and we always every game we start playing, it becomes like a channel thing, like who's Emery gonna simp after in this game or whatever. And I didn't know about any of the Destiny characters until we logged in, and then everyone was like, "Hey, you might like Gambit."
All right, all right, all right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition.
Who's Joe?
Who the is Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Yeah. Who is Joe?
Today we are here for the 10th staring contest video. I am currently 9-0, and we are here with Emery. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about yourself?
Hey, I'm Emery. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer now. I've been doing that for about 6 months, ever since the COVID lockdown. I'm retired military, and I flip houses and do financial planning on the side, so I do still have a day job.
So let's go ahead and I'll count you down from 5, and we'll see how it
Okay,
goes.
no blinking, right?
Well, after the countdown from 5 is when you can't blink.
Okay, got it.
So you can blink.
We're gonna blink ahead of time. I should
blink
brought
all
eye
you
drops.
want to right now.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is one question that
All right.
I've asked in all previous of the 9 videos. If you could collaborate with anyone on the internet, who would you collaborate with?
So I lost already. I look up when I think. We have a winner. I would say the person I would collaborate with as far as Twitch goes right now would probably be Sasha Grey, and not for reasons one might think.
Okay.
She's a Twitch streamer now. She's a Twitch partner, and she's actually like really, really cool and really into like charities and activism, and I'd love to do a collab with her eventually.
What about a YouTube creator?
Let's see, a YouTube creator. I want to do a giveaway with Mr. Beast.
I mean, don't we all?
We all like, and I don't want him to give me anything. I want to do like a giveaway with him because I love his concept of like his whole personality in YouTube is kind of built on making other people's day, right? And I kind of try and do that, but like in a really small way because I can't afford to give away 10 Teslas, obviously. But I would love to do some sort of collab someday when I'm cool with him to give something away.
One of my earlier staring contest videos was with Bailey, and Bailey is one of the editors for Mr. Beast.
Oh, that's really, really good. See, 2 degrees of separation. I'm working on it.
I talked about it in that video, but one goal I have is to eventually get the whole Beast crew to do a staring contest video with me, where it would be like one then the other, so what all lined up, one blinks then the next steps up, the other blinks and the next steps up.
He might be actually down for it, considering they do all those crazy contests and competitions on their channel. That might be kind of in his realm.
Well, like I've done in all the other videos, at this point, even though I've already won the staring contest, I am going to try to go the rest of the video without blinking.
All right, I have faith in you.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it today because I actually woke up with a mild irritation in my left eye. So, but we'll see. I think my record so far has gone.
At least you have an excuse. You have a way out.
I do. I did that on purpose. So, you mentioned that you're in the military. What made you decide to join the military?
I was in the military. I got out last year. I don't really have a very inspiring story. I joined because I was extremely broke and like drowning in student loan debt, and the army was like, "Hey, I'm an immigrant. I came from Canada, and I was on like this temporary green card situation. And the military was like, hey, not only will we pay off your student loan debt, but that'll grant you citizenship. And I'm like, I can't think of anything better. Where do I sign? So that's kind of how I ended up. It was a very spur of the moment decision. I just signed up, and literally 6 days later, I was in basic training. So it was kind of a wild ride.
Wow. So, how long were you in the military?
A little under 4 years. I had a 3-year contract, so 3 years plus training time, and then I ended up actually retiring out because of an injury. I retired the day before I was supposed to actually get out, so I skipped out on one whole day.
And have you always been a gamer?
Yes. Well, actually, I have kind of a weird story. I grew up very like kind of in like a restrictive environment. I grew up in a very, very religious family. They aren't so much anymore, where a lot of that wasn't allowed. And then we were very, very poor. So we didn't have the money for TVs and games and everything. But when I could, and when I was over at friends' house where I could, I'd play. And then when I was old enough to start affording my own things, that's about all I did. Like I moved away and I went to university, and then I played. My first game was RuneScape, and then I quickly got into World of Warcraft. That's pretty much all I did with my free time. Like I haven't even created any other hobbies because all I do is play video games.
How long have you been playing Destiny 2? Because I've noticed that watching your stream that seems to be kind of like a focus of your stream.
3 months. I'm kidding. It's only been 3 months.
Really?
I was a full-time League of Legends streamer, and then I kind of got out of the community because it was getting a bit much with the ranked and the back and forth, and I was just not having fun anymore. And if I get burnt out, I just stop doing it. That's why I keep myself a variety streamer. Like I'm not going to force myself when it's no longer fun. That's not fun for anybody. So I went from League of Legends to full-time streaming like Borderlands and classic games, and then I had never even seen gameplay of Destiny, and everyone had bugged me to play it for like a year now, and I finally played it, and by the first week, I quit everything else. I was like, well, I'm a full-time Destiny streamer now. Like, I'm in love with this. I want to play it like 12 hours a day. So that's what I've been doing since.
Yeah, I know you were playing Destiny the first time I watched you. Now, one question I have, and I hope I'm going to get this name right. Can you
Yes.
explain your fascination with Drifter? Is it Drifter?
Oh. Yes. So I don't know why it became like an ongoing joke, because like every game I play, there's like certain we all make like it's been a like the simping thing, like the internet sim culture has been a joke on my channel forever, and we always every game we start playing it becomes like a channel thing, like who's Emery gonna simp after in this game or whatever. And I didn't know about any of the Destiny characters until we logged in, and then everyone was like, hey, you might like Gambit.
All right, all right, all right.
Like this might be like your game mode, and I'm not a questing person, so I went down, and if you've ever played Destiny, you know how you go down and you go speak to the Drifter to go get your bounties or whatever. And I walked up to him, and I made like this one joke about him looking like daddy or whatever, and it's been like this ongoing like slowly escalating joke in my channel for like 3 months until it's just out of control, and now I'm getting a tattoo or something. I don't know.
So one thing you've mentioned on your stream is that you kind of specialize in analytics. So
Yes, as far as social media, I do.
okay. So how do you approach analytics from one platform to another? Like how would you approach TikTok differently than Instagram than Twitter?
Okay, so it's every platform has a different algorithm, and I have to focus heavily on analytics because one of the things I do is social media management, especially for girls in the modeling industry. I do all their social media for them, and each platform is vastly different. There are some platforms I don't manage and I don't touch. For example, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I suck at YouTube because I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm brand new at it, but I manage Instagrams, Twitters, TikToks, and I help people with Twitch. I'm a little bit new to Twitch, so I don't charge anybody for that. So each social media has a different focus and a different algorithm. For example, Twitter is mostly text-based and it's very short, and TikTok they focus on things like how long someone looks at something. Like the most important thing you can have on TikTok is if someone watches your video, and say your video is 7 seconds long, and if they watch for 7.1 seconds, bam, boost. So getting someone to watch something more than once is very, very important on like TikTok. Whereas in Instagram, if you can get someone to hit that save button, that will give you your biggest boost. So each action someone takes on your post, depending on the social media platform, has a different like level, like a different point system for how much it'll boost you to more profiles.
If you could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself?
Well, let's see, how far back are we going?
Let's say 10 years. If you could go back in time 10 years,
10
what
years?
advice would you give yourself?
Oh, now this is gonna sound crazy. Don't go to college. So I went to university early, and I ended up joining the military after university. And I think while it gave me good like life experience, I now have a degree I'll never use because I just don't like the field I was going, because I thought in order to be successful, you had to get a degree in a successful field, and like that was the blueprint for your life. And now I am making more money just on social media management than I literally ever would have. And I have an electrical engineering degree. I'll never use it. And I would have definitely either joined the military or taken the time to find something I was actually good at and enjoyed first before going to university and racking up private school loans. That's the biggest advice I'd give myself, is don't feel pressured to get a university degree if you don't love the field, because it's not actually worth anything.
5 years from now, where do you see yourself being as a streamer?
Oh, I would love if Twitch would look at my partnership application someday. I don't really know. I never intended to be a full-time streamer. I got into streaming because when I retired from the military, it's really hard to transition. Like, you go from having this family and a community to nothing. It's kind of a little bit traumatic, honestly. And because I lost that family, I was looking for a new one, and I played games all day. So I figured, why not try streaming? So about a year ago is when I started actually like streaming pretty much every day. And I did it to find friends and a community and a family, not so much. I didn't think I'd make any money off of it.
You also have a YouTube channel. Where do you see your place? What do you see your niche as being on YouTube?
I haven't figured it out yet. So YouTube's my newest social media platform. I've had everything else for a little while. I just started up my YouTube. And I started it up as a place to like basically, Twitch made us delete all our clips and VODs, as a place to kind of create highlights and put clips and VODs. And I'm kind of thinking about going in more of a traveling direction, because I do like the last year before COVID, I went to 23 countries in 1 year. I travel almost nonstop when not on lockdown. So I figured if I could make a way to make it something like gaming, because I stream while I travel. I have an entire mobile setup that fits in a suitcase. Gaming and travel combined. I think that's kind of where I'm going to head with it, but I haven't really fleshed out the idea yet.
Between all of the platforms you've been on, where did you start, and how did you transition from that to deciding to do an OnlyFans?
So my first platform was Instagram, and I blew up entirely on accident. It was 2017, and I was in Afghanistan, and I had an Instagram with like 300 people on it. You know, your friends, your family, your unit, whatever. And I started posting pictures like in Afghanistan and like memes, and then I posted one picture of me, like all these dudes had only ever seen me like hadn't showered in 2 months, like gross, right? And I posted this one picture of me from like a year before where I'd been all dressed up, and it went like weirdly viral within my unit, like, oh my god, she's actually a girl, like who would have thought? And that kind of, it was crazy. And then all these military pages started posting these side by side photos of me like in Afghanistan, and then like me at the military ball last year, like, oh my god, what, look at this chick, like she doesn't even look the same. And that went, so I went from like 300 to like 4,000 followers on Instagram in like 2 months. And I was like, what the hell do I do with this? And then I started looking into it, and I was like, people are asking me to promote their stuff, and I could make money off of this. And it started ramping up slowly and slowly. And then within a year, I was like at 10. And now I have one account with 107,000 and another with 80 some thousand. It's just kept going. So that was my first account. And then I got a TikTok, and I pushed to Twitter, and then I started streaming on Twitch. And it's like a trickle down thing. You push from each one. And then I wasn't going to do OnlyFans at first, because I was under the false impression that if you do OnlyFans, you have to do more pornographic content. Like, you have to do that. And then I was like, that's not something for me. That's just like, I love it for other people. It's not something I'm interested in. And then a couple months ago, I was talking to this girl and she's like, yeah, I post my bikini pictures. I do cosplay. I'm like, so you don't do any nudity? She's like, no. I'm like, and you're like one of the top creators. She's like, yeah. I was like, and Jessica Negri. I'm like, you make hundreds of thousands a month and you don't do any. I'm like, why am I not doing this? So then I looked at the analytics and I was like, is this worth my time? And like, it spit it out. I'm like, I'm already managing stuff for other people. Why not do it myself? And then I started doing it myself, and it is a lot of fun. I mean, I love cosplaying and I love doing the glamour shots and everything. So I'm having a ton of fun, and I'll quit when I don't have fun anymore because that's kind of how I live my life. But right now it's great.
If you could address any one misconception about OnlyFans that's floating out there, what would that one misconception be?
That it's easy. Oh my God, is it work? Everyone's like, oh, it's like life on easy mode. I'm like, yes, but no. I was like, yes, it is because the market is already there. Like it's easy to do. It's very, very difficult to do well and be successful. Like anyone can start one and start posting. You're not going to make any money. I would say I spend on that platform alone at a bare minimum 6 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
That's without shoots. Like that's just answering messages, doing analytics, doing the marketing. I would say minimum 6 hours a day, adding on shoots, photo editing, all that, probably another 8 to 10 hours a week. So it's full-time work to do it well. Of course, because I put in that full-time work, I shot from no account and I was in the top 1% in a month. And now we're the top 0.1%. So if you want to do it successfully, it is very, very hard work.
Now, I know you mentioned it on your stream, and I just blinked. 23 minutes in.
That's absolutely insane. I have no idea how you do that.
I know you mentioned it on stream, but can you say for the people watching the video kind of what happened?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, of course. So I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. And that is, I mean, if you're not really familiar with military, that's where most of the paratroopers go. So we jump out of planes for a living. And I had an accident. I had a parachute malfunction. And basically, really simple terms, what happens is when we drop, we did what's called a mass tactical drop, where it's equipment and tons of people in the sky. It's like hundreds of people in the sky. So what happened is I floated over, like we floated basically on top of each other with another guy. And what happens is like a vacuum. So it sucked the air out of my parachute and I fell through a corner vent in his parachute. And we were close enough to the ground that it didn't reinflate in time. So basically, not at like terminal velocity or anything, but I hit the ground going many, many miles an hour faster than I ever should have. And I basically potato chipped like the right side of my body, like my femur and my ankle. And then I had a couple fractures in my back. And me being stubborn as I was, my unit deployed there a couple months after, and I kind of was like, yeah, I'm okay. I want to go. I don't want to get left behind. So I didn't really take care of myself as far as recovery went, and I definitely sped it up more than I should have. So now I have like permanent nerve damage because I'm stubborn.
Well, I think we've got enough content at this point, so I guess we'll reach the point of the video where I get you to say that I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest.
I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest. I think I got 23 seconds and you got 23 minutes.
And another thing we've started doing is at the end of every video, I am going to ask you to call out somebody else that you would like to see do a staring contest interview video with me.
Oh, can I send you their link?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a Norwegian Twitch streamer, and he just started out. He came from my community and started out streaming. His name is Bikossel, and I'm going to send you his link. And I still have to wear a mustache from a contest I've done with him, but this is my getting back at him for making me wear a red mustache.
Works for me. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition. If you haven't already liked the video, go ahead and do that. If you're not already following Emery Pan on Twitch and all of her social media outlets. You should be. I will put all of her links in the video description. If you haven't already
You're awesome.
subscribed, go ahead and do that. And there will be one video down here at the bottom left that I have recommended, and one video down here at the bottom right that YouTube has recommended. Watch one of them, watch all of them, watch Emery's stream, watch all of Emery's YouTube videos.
Just come hang out with us.
Yeah, just come hang out. And we'll see you the next time.
All right. See you around.